this is Stephanie Manley with Copycat.com. Today we are going to go to Disney and I'm going to show you my version of the Cellier Beer Cheddar Cheese soup. This is a fantastic soup. Of course it has beer in it. And for this recipe, I'm going to suggest, if you can get it, to go ahead and get a Canadian beer. I have Molson here. If you can't get this, just kind of a nice darker beer will work for this recipe. And I have suggestions and all of the measurements for the recipe in the description bar down below. So if you're interested in that, click on that please, because everything is there for you. I will link it directly to my website. Lots of things in this recipe. We are going to start off with bacon. You can't go wrong when you got bacon in there. We're going to use red onion, a little bit of butter. We're going to use flour, chicken stock. If you can get low sodium chicken stock, that's always a good thing to do. We are going to use heavy cream. This is going to give the soup a nice full body. We're going to use a white cheddar, aged cheddar cheese soup. If you can get it, Black Diamond is what I'm told that the restaurant uses, so you may want to get that. It's not available in my area. It's also going to have some good old-fashioned carrots and celery in here because, well, we might as well throw a vegetable in. We are going to use dry mustard powder to give the soup a little bit of kick, some Worcestershire sauce, some Tabasco, and of course some beer. So we should go ahead and get started on this. The first thing we're going to do with our bacon is we're going to go ahead and cut this into small pieces, and we're just going to sweat it a little bit in the pan to let it, you don't want it to brown, but you want it to release all of the bacon fat in it, but the bacon will come back later. So why don't I go ahead and get started. So whenever using a raw meat product, you have to be very clean and very sanitary about everything. As you can see, I have a different cutting board for this. So into the recipe goes a half pound of bacon. So let me go ahead and get that ready and we'll get this in the pan. All right, new cutting board and a different knife here. And we're gonna go ahead and chop our red onion. You need about a cup of chopped red onion. So let me go ahead and get that chopped up for us. This will go into our pot as well as the celery and carrots. Okay, so now our bacon has started to cook. You can see it's not too brown right now, but it's just starting to turn brown. So we're gonna go ahead and add in the butter into here. This is gonna give a nice flavor profile, and we're gonna go ahead and add in our vegetables. We're gonna cook all of these until they're nice and translucent. This will take just a couple of minutes. Now normally I would go ahead and add a little bit of salt at this point, but I think that the bacon is so salty at this point, I'm not going to add any additional salt. Okay, and while this cooks, I'm going to go ahead and grate the cheese. All right, so as always, I suggest that you go ahead and grate your own cheese, because when you buy cheese that is already shredded for you, it has anti-caking agents in it, and sometimes it doesn't melt quite as well. And you can save a little bit of money often if you go ahead and grate your own cheese. So now that our vegetables have been sauteing and our onions are nice and translucent, we're gonna go ahead and add the flour in. It may seem like a lot of flour at first, but this is gonna help thicken up our soup. So let me tell you a trick in this. You really need to cook your flour and the fat together for a little while. If you don't, it's gonna taste raw and it's gonna taste just yucky. So it's really important at this time and point to let this cook until it begins to smell something like pie crust and becomes nice and fragrant. This should take a couple of minutes, so I'm going to let it do its thing now. So our flour and butter mixture has been cooking for a little bit. It smells really nice and fragrant. At this point, we're gonna go ahead and start adding in our chicken stock. Try to do about a cup at a time. And what you're gonna find is this is immediately gonna thicken and turn into, it's almost gonna look paste-like at this point, but that's okay, don't worry about it. We're just making a nice thick soup here. See, it's already gelled up. We're gonna go ahead and add in another bit of our chicken stock right here. And it's gonna thicken up again. You see how wonderful that becomes. And you just need to stir this so it doesn't get lumpy. It's just important to continually stir this as much as you can. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in the remainder of my chicken stock. So now I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my heavy cream. This gives the soup a nice thickness and a nice texture. And we're gonna go ahead and start adding in our cheese. We're gonna add in about a third at a time. It'll melt and then we'll go ahead and add in some more cheese. We wanna go ahead and add in our dry mustard powder. Our Tabasco sauce. And our Worcestershire sauce. Okay, we're going to add in our last bit of cheese here. And once this melts, we're going to go ahead and add in the beer. Okay, we're gonna let this heat through just another minute or two and we'll be ready to serve the soup. So we've just finished making our beer cheese soup and you didn't even need to stand in line to taste some. It's fantastic, it's hearty enough for a meal. You serve this with some freshly baked bread and everyone's going to love you. So if you enjoyed this video and you like soup videos, please give me a big thumbs up here on YouTube. Drop me a comment down below of what recipe you'd like to see next. And thank you for watching.